Hi, Patrea O'Donoghue, psychologist. Have you ever noticed that when you have a problem, sometimes the solution you try out actually creates another problem? We can think of that in many ways. You know, if you're feeling sad and down, you might go and have some comfort eating. That creates another problem. So it might momentarily alleviate the feelings of depression, sadness, loneliness, but it creates another problem, which may very well be weight gain. But we can see that in so many other ways. People might choose some kind of self-soothing or self-calming strategy. It might be a form of maybe having a drink, maybe having a cigarette, it might be having some other kind of substance, but food is definitely one of those substances. It might be online shopping, it might be some other kind of online movies, etc. And we can try and distract ourselves from the problem. But that's all those kind of things sometimes do. They make you feel good or better momentarily, but it doesn't remove the problem. And then you may wake up and the next day and you not only have the original problem, but you may have an additional one as well. So, for instance, a couple of years ago when I was experiencing a condition of pain after a surgery on a broken wrist, I sought comfort in some sweet foods, and I put on about 8 kilos or so, which was about, 7 to 8 kilos, and I put it on over a relatively short period of time. Actually, it was about 7 kilos. So nearly 10% of my body weight at the time. I put on over 10% of my body weight. And so not only did I have the coping of the pain and the rehab of my reconstructed wrist, but I then also had to work on getting myself back to the weight that I prefer. And that's just an example. So yes, both were a long road to the wrist rehab, but also a bit of a long road to getting back into the shape, because as you get a little bit older, sometimes shifting that weight can be that little bit harder. And so there are many ways in which we seek to solve our problems in a particular way, but it only serves to create another problem. So what are the ways in which you might be able to be aware of the fact that the solutions you're seeking or using are actually just creating another issue? So perhaps you might be able to be aware of when the consequences of your chosen pathway might actually be adding to the problem rather than taking it away. And when we can do that, be aware of the consequences, we might be able to choose differently. In my case, I made a conscious choice that the momentary relief of the pain I was experiencing was worth it, because I figured that I was pretty confident in my ability to get back to the weight I had. But it certainly was a journey, perhaps a bit longer than I thought, but I got there. But for some people, that journey can take them a long way off path, and it can be a really long, hard recovery back. So I'm wishing you all the best in being aware of the choices you might be making, so that you may be able to find a solution that doesn't add to the problems you're already experiencing. Cheers to being awake in life.